Wellness Wednesday. Welcome. It's been like so long since I chatted with you guys. I feel like it's been more than a week. So much has been happening this week. It's been like a whirlwind. Yeah, it's been like a whirlwind. Okay, so for this week, I didn't even type in a title. That's okay. Maybe I can edit it later. So for this week, I want to talk about honoring your needs. Honoring the needs that you have and also honoring the needs of the people around you. And this kind of came up actually in some of the groups that I am coaching right now, as well as with some individual clients that I am coaching right now. There's been like a theme that I've been noticing of like the one thing, the theme that I've been noticing my clients talking about in our calls together is um, being able to honor what they want to do while balancing and managing the needs of their friends and their family. So, and actually, I just experienced this myself today, in my own personal life, I had like a little blow up with my spouse, and, it was over like the dumbest thing, which it usually is, right? It was over like a bottle of pancake syrup, and like having it put away or not put away. And, you know, I realized in thinking about that process and what caused me to react in that way was a feeling of not being heard. And that feeling of not being heard stemmed from a lack of communication with me expressing what my needs are during this time, right? Because this is a new time for all of us. Many of us are kind of stuck at home with our spouses or with our families, and usually we get that time apart, right? We get that time apart as we're going to our jobs, but now we're all home together. And it's easy to have expectations of what you feel like the rest of your family members should or should not be doing, right? I heard from another coach, actually. She was sharing that she works with women, and the one thing that she was hearing from her clients was that the women are feeling, overwhelmed at home, working and doing the dishes and the chores and taking care of the kids, and they're noticing that like their husbands are like sitting on their phones, So again, there's an expectation, right, that may or may not have been said. I wouldn't know. I wasn't, with those women. But there's the expectation of, that the husband probably should not be sitting there watching videos or scrolling through Facebook or whatever, when the wife is running around the house trying to keep everything organized and put together and keep the systems running and all of that stuff. So, and I know that like the opposite is true. I'm sure those husbands have expectations about what they feel like their wives should be doing. So when we put expectations, especially that are not spoken out loud, they're just in our heads, when we put expectations onto the people around us, that is what causes us to become upset when we see that the people around us are then behaving in ways that we did not expect that they should or should not be behaving. So I think being really, really clear about, what are your needs? Not just what are your expectations. I always, just personally, I feel like the word expectation is, has a sense of dictatorship to it. So personally, I wouldn't necessarily approach my spouse by saying, I have these expectations, for you, I might say something along the lines of, these are my needs, that I need in order to feel supported, loved, secure, safe, right now. Maybe it's something that is a result of just right now with the situation we're all going through, or maybe these have always been my needs, right? From when we first met. But being able to express it in a way where you're coming from yourself, you're speaking about your own personal needs and your own personal experience. And I feel like that's really important, because when you start projecting your needs or your expectations onto the other person, then it comes across as being attacking, right? So instead of coming from your own heart and your own emotions, where you're able to say, this is how I'm feeling, this is how I'm being impacted, and here's the support that I feel like I need because of me, myself, right? When you come from that place, your spouse, or whoever it is that you are in a relationship with, it could be a coworker, it could be a friend, it could be a family member, the other person is then going to be able to receive that message easier, because they're not seeing it as being all about them. Like you're attacking them. Like, you need to do this. You need to be more supportive. You. When you use that language as you are expressing what your needs are, that comes across as, the other person will see it as you attacking them, and telling them what they should or should not be doing. But stay in the heart. When you stay in the heart and just talk about yourself openly and honestly, then that message is going to be received so much easier, so much more received, and it will make for a much better conversation. And then make sure you reciprocate that for your partner or the other person, whoever it is, and be open and willing to ask, okay, what are your needs? And be willing to see, if you are willing to help meet those needs. It might not need to be something that you have to do personally, but it could be something that you can be supportive with in some kind of a way. But yeah, really, really being able to honor where we're at right now, because everyone is at some kind of place right now, with the position that we're all in. So being able and being willing to honor yourself and what you're feeling and what you need, and then honor the people around you. What are they feeling? What do they need? There is a list. I'm not sure if it's on my desk behind me. I'll take a quick look here. There is a list of like 7 steps to self-care that I actually posted Monday night, that I feel like is really pertinent to this topic, because it has to do with, like, those are basically what the needs that we need in order to honor ourselves, especially right now. Let me turn around real quick and see. Yes, okay. I do have it, because I wrote them all down. I was taking notes as I was listening to that call. It was such a great call. So the 7 steps, I'll just share them with you all here, to self-care during a crisis. Okay, so be open to this. Be willing to honor what your needs are with these 7 steps. So step number 1 is emotional awareness. And this is so important, because you have to understand what it is. If you're feeling stressed right now, and many of us are, what is it that's stressing you out? Like I said, I had a feeling of not being heard, right? And it wasn't, and it was the kind of thing where, like, the straw broke the camel's back, right? It was me not expressing my needs because I made the assumption that they should have been known already. So it was me not expressing those needs, and then therefore feeling like I wasn't being heard, when really I wasn't saying anything to be heard. So that created a feeling of upset, like you're not listening to me, So then when there was a misunderstanding, there it caused that feeling to magnify, right? Because that's what our brains do. We look for evidence that supports our beliefs. So if I have a belief in my head that says, my spouse isn't listening to me, or I'm not able to be heard by my spouse, that's a belief that I have in my mind. Then every little thing that happens, my brain is going to take the negative things and turn it into evidence. So when there's a misunderstanding, my brain will say, "Oh, see, not listening. If they were listening, they would have paid better attention," right? Like, so it's easy for us to fall into those kinds of traps. So emotional awareness, what are you feeling and where is it coming from? If you know where it's coming from, you can take steps to rectify the situation. And some of these things, we can turn what's the phrase? Mountains into molehills, or the other way around. I can't remember what the phrase is, but the idea is, don't take something small and blow it out of proportion, right? And if you're aware of your emotions and what's causing them, that can prevent blow-ups from happening in the first place. So that's number one, emotional awareness. Number two, diet and nutrition. And that's so important too. I can speak to a lot of these with personal experience. Diet and nutrition, listen to what your body is telling you, right? It was like a few days ago, I was feeling a little stressed and was eating like I'm following basically like a modified keto kind of diet right now. And I was eating like more carbs that day than usual because I was just feeling like upset, and I was like, I don't care, and I was eating keto stuff, but I was eating like a larger amount of it. So like, even if you're eating stuff with less carbs, if you eat more, it's gonna add up to more, right? Like everything in moderation. And as a result, I started feeling like physically, my body started feeling like kind of bloated. I was feeling more fatigued. I even noticed like more blemishes kind of popping up. And it occurred to me, I was like, you know what? I am putting way too much crap into my body right now. My body's trying to detox, and I need to just give myself a break. So like 2 days ago, I decided to do a fast just to kind of reset my body and make it feel better, right? And I didn't do a full day. I actually just did to dinner time. And then I just ate light things, I love eating like bacon. I do, it's like organic and it's grass fed and it's like all this good stuff, or uncured. That's the big thing with bacon. But eating too much of any one thing, if you're not listening to your body, is going to cause your body to not feel well. So after my fast, I did feel better. I actually had a headache, and my headache went away after fasting. And then the next day, I wasn't hungry for breakfast, so I skipped it, and I had lunch. At like 12:30ish, I had a salad. And then when I was hungry again around dinner time, I ended up having like breakfast foods with cauliflower. And, so I just took the time to listen to my body and what it was telling me. And now I feel better. And guess what? My blemishes are gone. Like it's all connected. So diet and nutrition, so important. Stay away from processed foods and limit your sugar increase. Caffeine is another one. I actually stopped caffeine intake a couple days ago too. I'm just drinking decaf right now. And again, I'm feeling so much better now. When I went through like a week of feeling like, oh, I feel like crap, but just listening to your body and focusing on veggies, lots and lots of veggies, so important to have veggies and lots of water because it helps flush the toxins out of your system, and that's really, really important to keep your body functioning at an optimal level. So number 3, get plenty of sleep and rest. And this is improving for me now that I have stopped the caffeine. Who would have thought, right? So make sure that you have that time, like if at all possible, try to get yourself to bed at like by 10 o'clock at the latest, and some of you have different hours due to like, if you have different jobs where you work different shifts, like that's understandable. Your biological rhythms are probably going to be different. But for a lot of us, we want to follow kind of like the pattern of the sun, just like the animals. So if we go to bed a little earlier and we can rest longer throughout the night, and we'll wake up feeling refreshed, right? Getting yourself into a routine, especially now, you want to keep that routine going, even though there's like no school and no work and all this stuff. Keeping that routine in place to keep your body in a rhythm is going to be healthier for your body. Movement. I actually doubled my movement last week. And that was before this call. I just kind of felt, it was one of those things where I felt like I wanted to listen to my body. So I did. And I typically work out 3 days a week. And last week I decided to start working out 6 days a week. Just because I felt like I wanted to. It wasn't a should. It was like a get to, right? There is a difference. I would encourage you not to work out because you think you should, but if you're going to work out, and I think everyone would benefit from moving more often, right? But if you're going to work out, make sure it's something you enjoy. It doesn't have to be like a hard workout where you're doing squats and push-ups and jumping jacks and all these things. You try some Zumba and dance. Or if you're not into Zumba specifically, just put on like your favorite playlist off of YouTube and dance like freestyle, right? Or do some yoga or go for a walk, right? Yeah, I know that everyone's like contained in their homes right now, but people are still going for walks, as long as you're keeping that 6-foot distance and making sure that you're protected. Like a walk is really, really good, especially with the fresh air. And this is a whole other thing. Like you can actually change your microbiome, and which impacts your DNA just by taking yourself to a different location and breathing different air. I know, it sounds crazy. There's like scientific evidence of the wazoo for this. So this is like a real thing. But yeah, so that old adage of fresh air does a body good, that's real, and there's evidence now to prove it. So just move your body in any way that feels good to you, and make it consistent, make a habit out of it, and it's gonna keep your body and yourself so much more happier during this time. Number 5, detox. And I talked a little bit about that with the diet and nutrition. And detoxing not just nutritionally, but detox mentally and spiritually. Decluttering even could be a detox. So detox your home right now. Detox your mental mind right now. This is a great time to release what is no longer serving you in your heart, in your mind, in your home. And that is going to create room to bring in what is going to serve you on a much, much, much higher level. So be open to detoxing. Detoxing not just your body, but your mind and spirit and environment. Very, very important. Step number 6. This is it's listed as SelfCare, which I don't like that because the name of the list is 7 steps to self-care. So how is self-care going to be a step on the list? But what it's talking about here is making yourself a priority. So allowing yourself to have fun time. So maybe I'll change it on my list. I will change this to, say, fun time is step number 6. So like giving yourself, even while you're at home, giving yourself a spa day, right? You could like go soak in the tub, put some bubbles in there and light some candles, put on like a face mask, that like, yeah, like a clay mask or something, and just give yourself like a spa day. You could give yourself like a little manicure or a pedicure, or maybe for you, like family game night could be something. That's actually something that we've started to do. We've been playing games together as a family, just like board games, and things that we can do with our toddler. And it's like, it just lightens everything. It's giving us a sense of connectedness together as a family. And it's keeping us all engaged together, and it's fun. It's a learning opportunity for my daughter, and it's interaction opportunity for me and my spouse, and just for all of us to have that time together. So having fun time is just make time for that. It's okay to have fun right now. I think that's another thing, is people feel like we should all feel guilty right now. There's people who I know feel guilty right now for having fun and using this time as a way to enjoy themselves and enjoy the break from the work and have some fun. And people feel guilty about that. And oh my goodness, like, we don't need to feel guilty about taking care of ourselves, because now is the absolute most important time to take care of ourselves. We are in the middle of a pandemic, yes? So if you're not going to take care of yourself right now, you are not serving anyone. You're not going to serve your family, and you're certainly not going to serve the people around you, because if you're not taking care of yourself and honoring yourself and allowing yourself to take some time out for fun, you're actually increasing your stress levels, increasing the cortisol response, and guess what that does? It decreases your ability to fight off disease. So you're damaging your own immune system by stressing yourself out, thinking that you should be feeling guilty for having fun. Like, stop, okay? That's not serving anyone. Allow yourself to use this time the best way that you can, right? We're all here. We all have this time. Why not use it productively and do the best that you can right now? Have some fun. Decrease your stress and elevate your immune response so that you know that you're not going to have to worry about any disease impacting you. Okay? I like step number 6. I'm a little passionate about that one. All right, and then step number 7 is supplementation. And that, I think, is really important right now in particular, because it's been harder for people to get to the stores. I know a lot of people are staying in, and when you go to the store, like, it's kind of empty looking. I've seen like pictures and videos on Facebook of, people going to the store and they're like, oh my God, the shelves are empty. And that's related to the scarcity and the fear, right, that everyone is experiencing right now. So supplementation, personally, I have always believed, not always, sorry, shouldn't use an absolute, because before I learned about the importance of health and nutrition, I didn't know anything about supplementation. But since I learned about it, I am now a very firm believer that it's essential for everyone, whether we're in a crisis or not, because supplementation allows us to bridge the gap between what we should be eating and what we're actually eating. So, like, for example, I mentioned for step number 2, the importance of diet and nutrition, right? And how important it is to eat our veggies. We need, oh my goodness, it's what, 13 now? 13 servings of fruits and veggies every single day. That is now the recommendation. And I don't know about you, but most people do not fit in that many servings of fruits and veggies every single day. But the fruits and the veggies are the nutrition that is so vital to support our immune function and allow us to be at our highest optimal level health-wise. So like for me, personally, I like juicing and concentrating my fruits and veggies in a way that is easy to digest and easy for me to get as much into my system as possible, so I can be eating or ingesting, right, the amount that is recommended. So personally, I do mine in the form of a capsule because it's easier for me that way. And since I've started to do that, I've been healthier, I've been happier, and I've noticed an increase in my energy. Really since I've been using supplements, I can honestly say, I haven't had a single infection, and I used to be prone to infections. 3 to 4 infections every single winter season is what I used to do. And since I started using supplements, and I've used many different ones over the years, but since I started using them, I haven't had a single one. Not one. And it's been, I don't even know, 7 or 8 years now. I lost count of how long it's been. So absolutely, supplementation is so, so, so important. Food and nutrition is important, first and foremost. But in addition to that, you want to be taking really, really high quality premium supplements to make sure that you are getting the nutrition that your body needs to keep you healthy. So anyway, those are the 7 needs that we need. And I know I started off this conversation talking about our relationships with each other, so think about those needs and think about, are those needs being met for you? Right? Are you feeling stressed out? Are you getting enough sleep? Are you taking time out to have fun? And is your family behind you on that? Have you expressed this to your family? And what does your family need? Is your spouse feeling all stressed out because maybe he or she is feeling helpless with what's going on and doesn't have a way to share that with you or with anybody? Have you taken the time to ask, how are you doing? So that's kind of my wisdom for today for Wellness Wednesday. Wellness encompasses so much. That's why it's called holistic wellness, right? Because it's everything. It's all these different aspects of our lives that come together to create the holistic picture of our health. So be well. I hope that this has helped you in some kind of a way. I'm going to let you go for today. I think I might go make some Easter egg, chocolate peanut butter Easter eggs for with my family tonight as a family night activity. That was what I was thinking of doing. So enjoy tonight. Enjoy the rest of the week. I hope you can make some time for fun and talk to your family. Let them support you and keep your heart open to be that support for the people around you as well. All right. Much love and blessings to all of you, and have a happy, holistic Wellness Wednesday. Bye for now.